Hi there, Chris from TotallyEV, and here I'm doing a dedicated audio review of the BMW iX2. If you want a detailed review of the vehicle itself, make sure you check it up on your pop-up banner or follow the links down in the description below or the pinned comments. Now to kick off, we have to talk about its audio configuration. And as standard across the entire trim range, you have got a 6-speaker setup, which outputs a total power output of 100 watts. Here you've got mid-range drivers that are found within each of the 4 doors and central bass speakers that are positioned underneath the front 2 seats. Now if you do go for the £660 Harman Kardon Audio Upgrade, which is fitted on this press vehicle, you'll find 12 speakers. Indeed, on top of what I've already covered, you have got the tweeter and mid-range driver that are found within the dashboard, and then tweeters that are positioned within each of the 4 doors. So yes, indeed, you've got a tally of 12. Now, should you want to tinker around with the audio drivers, you'll want to navigate on the 10.9-inch infotainment system. And here you'll find a multi-band EQ. I've added the enhanced sound option and then added 5 notches to treble and taken 1 notch off bass. I've also disabled all the iconic sounds, and note this is only available as an option in the eDrive 20 for an additional £180. Of course, these are my own EQ preferences, but make sure you share your own EQ down in the comment section below, of course, if you do own the iX2. Now for you to connect up to the infotainment system, you have got Bluetooth, with the SBC and AC codec supported. If, however, you want to reduce the transmission loss, I'd very much suggest using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And indeed over here, they are both supported over a wired and wireless transmission. The former, of course, being the better out of the two. So with that out of the way, let's get on to cabin noise, and here the objective measurements will be on your screen. Now what I will say subjectively is that the vehicle does well at both lower and higher speeds, and while there's a little bit of rolling noise that can be heard creeping in from the tyres, it is actually still pretty minimal. You also have got pretty much no wind deflecting off the A-pillars and the wing mirrors, and therefore shows that BMW has optimized the iX2. Now it's worth bearing in mind over here that this press vehicle was fitted with the acoustic glass option, which is comprised with one of the technology packs. So something worth considering if cabin noise is something of a priority to you. Now with all that said and done, let's get on to an audio demo, which I appreciate won't be ideal over YouTube or using my microphones, but will give you a bit of a taster. I'll be placing the camera and microphone in 4 separate locations and playing back a track which is from Priya J and it's titled Like Me. So audio demo aside, what do I make about the audio system? Well, let me break it down. First off, in terms of this sub-bass experience, it is there. And this is due to the fact that you have got those central bass speakers that are located underneath the front 2 seats. Although I don't think it does extend all that way to the lower echelons of the bass frequency tones, at least if you compare it to audio systems that have got a dedicated subwoofer in the boot. In this respect, the iX2 doesn't quite compete with some of the best audio systems out there, at least when it comes to the overall sub-bass experience. The mid-bass, however, is actually punchy and very tight. I have no complaints whatsoever both at the front and rear of the cabin. The vehicle does produce a pretty hearty sound and will leave a lot of people excited. In terms of the overall mid-range, it is a little bit recessed. It is a shame over here that the manufacturer has only given you a treble adjustment and has not broken down the mid and high range frequencies. And in comparison to some of the other vehicles from the BMW group, you do not have a comprehensive equalizer, which is quite a shame. I'm not really sure why the manufacturer has removed it or indeed not included it within the iX2. Now in this respect, it does mean that vocals, both female and male, feel a little bit pushed back and therefore don't come up to the foreground as you might expect. As for the highs, they do actually extend very well at the front and rear of the cabin thanks to the dedicated tweeters, and is very much an upgrade over the stock 6-speaker system, which does not have those dedicated tweeters. So therefore you'll get a little bit of that toe tapping feeling in the upgraded Harman Kardon audio system. Now, where I do feel that the upgraded audio system does fall short, at least in comparison to some of its key competitors, is when it comes to its overall soundstage reproduction. Now, you have got a decent instrument separation, both at the front and rear of the cabin, but when it comes to the overall width and depth, it's not quite there. Now, it's great to see that the manufacturer has included a tweeter and a mid-range driver within the dashboard, which does add to the overall dynamism, but I don't think it quite competes with some of the more expensive audio systems out there. Indeed, some of its key competitors, for example the Tesla Model Y, completely trumps it in this department. You'll feel a lot more engaged when you're listening back to your music. Now, ultimately, what I'm trying to say over here is that if you're going to be getting the BMW iX2, you should certainly consider the Harman Kardon audio upgrade, because those 6 additional audio drivers will give you a bit more engagement and indeed better control across the sound frequency range. As a result, it gets our Audio Approved award. It is a shame, however, that in comparison to some of the other Harman Kardon audio systems out there on the market, it doesn't quite do as well, indeed from the BMW group or indeed elsewhere. As a result, you might want to look at some of the alternatives if you're a serious audiophile, and some of which we reviewed and will be down in the description below for you in consideration. Now, I'd be curious to know what you make of the audio system that's comprised within the BMW iX2 down in the comment section below, and of course how you feel it compares to some of its competitors. If you have enjoyed this detailed independent review, definitely do consider dropping a like, subscribing and hitting that bell notification, all of which would be greatly appreciated. As such, I've been Chris from TotallyEV, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and goodbye.